How are y'all? Oh, my hair looks looking crazy. I went on a little jog with Holly earlier, and it is so pretty outside. Yay! I'm ready for spring. I hope you guys are too. So I'm having me some tea this afternoon. And we're just going to dive right in, you guys. Let me know how your days are going. Let me know if you are also enjoying. That's bangs that are trying to grow out. But I'm actually been missing my bangs. So I don't know. I might come back with bangs again. I do miss them. It's like I like having bangs because it hides my little cowlick. But then because I have a cowlick, my bangs don't fall right. So what do you know? Okay, so let's just dive in. Let me know how your day is going. Let me know you're here. Say hello. And today we're just going to be reading from Embraced by Lysa TerKeurst, The Seduction of Satisfaction. My God will meet all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. Have you ever been tempted to make seemingly small compromises in the short term that had the potential to take you away from God's best in the long term? I know this struggle all too well, but I also know that those small compromises build upon one another until they become a big pile of regret. Temptation of any kind is Satan's invitation to get our needs met outside the will of God. I love that sentence. I'm going to read that again because that's exactly what temptation is. If you think about times that you've been tempted in sin and you've moved forward with that temptation, y'all, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how crazy my hair was. If you really think about it, that's what it is. It's temptation of any kind is Satan's invitation to get our needs met outside the will of God. That is so true. One of the subtle ways he does this is to plant the hesitant thought in our mind that God will not meet our needs, that God is not enough. Satan wants us to feel alone and abandoned, that we turn to his offerings instead. It's the seduction of satisfaction. Often script that plays in our head is like the one I mentioned in yesterday's devotion. I need blank so I be satisfied. It's what sends the wife on a budget off on a spending spree. She feels the thrill of selling, but she's hiding bags from her husband, shame creeping. I've been there. I'm not going to lie. I have been there. It's what pulls at the businesswoman to work harder and longer and refuse to build boundaries in her schedule. Always chasing the next accomplishment, that next compliment, but it's never enough. It's what sent me on my eating spree. The kids were loud, the house was messy, the demands felt beyond my control. So the great justification, I indulge, only to have a bloated stomach and a deflated heart. The subtle message sold to us by Satan can be exposed when we understand the difference between a need and a want. All of the examples above were wants, not needs. But oh, how Satan wants to make them one and the same. When the difference between these two words starts getting skewed, we start compromising, we start justifying, and it sets us up to start getting our needs met outside the will of God. The abyss of discontent invites us in and threatens to darken and distort everything in our world. Listen, Satan is a liar. The more we fill ourselves with distorted desires, the emptier we'll feel. That's true with each of the desires mentioned above. The more we overspend, overwork, or overeat, the emptier we feel. Remember, Satan wants to separate you from God's best plans. He wants to separate you from God's proper provision. He wants to separate you from God's peace. Satan's temptation drains life. God's provision sustains life. Satan's temptation is the short term, will reap heartache in the long term. God's provision in the short term will reap blessings in the long term. Satan's temptation gratifies flesh. God's provision satisfies satisfies the soul. Oh, sweet sister, we must consider these realities when making choices today. We're all just a few poor choices away from doing things we never thought we would, especially when our hearts are in vulnerable places of longing for something that God hasn't yet provided. And the time to prevent destruction and temptation is before it ever starts. We are either holding fast God's promise or being lured by a compromise. And isn't it interesting that the word promise is right there in the midst of that word compromise? God's promise, I will meet all your needs according to the riches of my glory in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19, paraphrase. He's everything we need and perfectly capable of filling in gaps of our wants as well. We must let truth deep to the longings of our soul. Otherwise, lies are prone to creep into this place of our desire. Yes, you must trust God, embrace truth, live His promise. Dear Lord, help me focus only on provision in my life today. I don't want to be separated from you, your best plans for me, or your peace. Help me notice when the enemy is trying to entice me with false desires, because they only lead to emptiness. In Jesus' name, amen. Very good, very good, very good. So remember that, ladies. I want to read that one sentence again. I'll end it with that. Temptation of any kind is Satan's invitation to get our needs met outside of the will of God. Remember that, you guys. Remember that temptation and that sin is outside the will of God for you. He wants good things for you. He's not telling us to stay away from sin just for the fun of it. He has a purpose. So remember that, ladies. Y'all have a good afternoon, and I am going to be back this evening for prayer. We've had some prayers come through. So I love y'all and have a wonderful one afternoon. Enjoy the sun. Oh, it's glorious. Bye.